So Kirsten Gillibrand is running for president, and she probably doesn't have much of a chance, but she is very, I guess, generally popular among boomer white women and maybe some minority women, but she's definitely got a big chunk of the, no, not a big chunk, but she's got a decent chunk of the female vote when it comes to the percentage. So there's going to be a lot more female voters backing Kirsten Gillibrand than male voters, for sure. And apparently that's what the ratio of her donations are. She's got much more females supporting her as far as donations and stuff. No, she didn't end up making that much in donation. I think she made like 100,000, 200,000, something like that. Not very much though. And but anyway, so there's an article I'm reading, or I came upon, referring to democracy. It's something that Gillibrand is pushing for called democracy dollars. It says Gillibrand's plan to give every voter $600 to donate to campaigns. The subheadline says the Democratic presidential hopeful wants to use a voucher system to clean up politics, but it's got strings attached. Okay, well, I'm not sure what the strings attached is, but I guess we'll find out. It says Kirsten Gillibrand unveiled a plan on Wednesday to give every voter up to $600 in what she calls democracy dollars that they can donate to federal candidates for office. In an exclusive interview with NBC News to discuss the rollout of her first major 2020 policy initiative, Gillibrand said her clean elections plan would help reduce the influence of money in politics. I want to read the quotes here. It says, under Gillibrand's plan, every eligible voter could register for vouchers to donate up to $100 in a primary election and $100 in a general election each cycle, either all at once or in $10 increments to one or more candidates over time. Each participant would get a separate $200 pool for House, Senate, and presidential contests for a total maximum donation of $600 for those federal offices. Those would be strings attached. There would be strings attached for both donors and candidates. The money would go only to elections in the donor states, although they could be used for House candidates outside the that's fine. Voters district. That's not a big deal. That's okay. Politicians would face much tighter limits on donations. To be eligible to receive democracy dollars, a candidate would have to voluntarily agree. Don't they have enough money? Candidates already have enough money. What do they need $200 for, or $600 for? By the way, I've said the maximum donation is $2,700 per person. It's actually $2,800, not $27. That could have either been raised or I was wrong about it. But anyway, so it says Gillibrand predicted candidates would opt into the voucher system because the potential of how much you could raise in this system is exponentially higher. She envisioned a system in which campaigns adjust their strategies to win donations from local voting blocks that would otherwise go overlooked from a fundraising standpoint. They would campaign in all communities, she said. They would be going to low-income communities. They would be going to rural communities. They would be asking people to support them not only with a vote, but for financial support for their campaign. I mean, that plan doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it's not. I don't understand. What is that? So you're trying to get people to donate to a campaign or campaigns, various campaigns apparently, by giving them money. So why don't you just, I don't understand. Why don't you just raise the minimum wage? I don't understand. This is what I'm saying about these fucking corporate Democrats. Gillibrand is a typical corporate Democrat. So what they want to do is they want to limit or specifically tell you what to do with the money that you receive from the government. So instead of giving you a federal minimum wage, a federal minimum wage of $15 an hour, a living wage, they want to give you money and then tell you how you're allowed to spend that money. Or how about you just give people a minimum wage, $15 minimum wage or a living wage, and then they can do with that money whatever they want. So, I mean, I don't it's weird. It's almost like it's almost like you are trying to, I don't know. I want to say you're trying to, I guess get people to get involved in the political system, I guess, in some way, but then you're telling them how they can use that money that they're being given because it's a voucher. It's really, really strange. I don't even know what. And she claims it's a way to clean up elections, but how's that going to clean up elections? Unless you're actually advocating to get money out of politics in the sense of like corporate donors and stuff like that, then what the hell is the point of this? So what is the point of giving $600 to every single person, which, by the way, is a ton of money. Obviously it's not going to be every single person, but you have to qualify for it. So I don't know, who knows what the kind of the standards of that's going to be, but you're going to give money to certain people so that they can so you're funneling money to people so that they can then give that money to the candidates, which is the government, essentially. So the government gives you money and then you give money back to the government. So I don't know. That just doesn't make any sense. It just seems like a way to pretend like you're like, oh, here, I care about regular people, so I want to give money to low income people and people in middle class communities and stuff, so that and he also wants to give it to politicians too, apparently, which just doesn't make any sense. So people that already have money to give, she wants to give money to them too. I don't know. People like Gillibrand, they're completely clueless. They don't really know anything about how regular people are suffering. They don't know anything about what happens when you're living in a corrupt political system where people are suffering. So she thinks this is going to be some sort of way that's going to, like, as if this is going to benefit regular people. This is not a benefit to regular people. This is just a way for you to pretend like you care about money in politics, money corrupting politics, but in reality, you're not really doing anything that's going to fix the system overall. The system still exists. So when it comes to the matter of money in politics, so if Kirsten Gillibrand was trying to come out there and say, I'm going to also add a 28th Amendment to the United States Constitution that gets money out of politics on top of her idea of giving $600 to every $600 vouchers for people to use in campaigns that they donate to, then that's one thing. Like that would be a decent step forward. That's a lot better than just giving that voucher to people and then expecting them to, basically give money to various candidates. But she's not doing that. She's using this as an opportunity to pretend like she cares about the corrupt system by doing nothing, ultimately, because that's not going to solve anything. Giving money to people and then telling them what to do with it is not going to do anything for anybody other than just telling them what to do and then putting limits on what they're allowed to do because you don't want to. Obviously, Kirsten Gillibrand, being the establishment sellout that she is, she doesn't want to upset, her donors that are giving her money, doesn't want to upset all her other friends that are getting money and, from high-priced, rich donors. So she's like, okay, here's a voucher, and then whatever. Then, this is going to influence people to want to get involved in the political system. But people are already giving money as it is. Now, people that have a decent amount of money, so that people have, $27 lying around to be able to give Bernie Sanders or whichever candidate they want, Tulsi Gabbard, whoever the candidate is. If they have that money, they're willing to give it. Again, this would all make sense if you would actually raise the minimum wage. You would actually let people have a living wage so that they can afford to give that money that they earn from working a job with a decent wage, with a good wage. Then they can use that money however they want and in as much amount as possible, instead of giving them a voucher and saying, well, here's $100 or here's $50 and then you have to spend this on this candidate or that candidate or whatever. That's complete bullshit. It's just Kirsten Gillibrand is not a serious person. She's not. First of all, she has zero chance to win the nomination to become a nominee, and she would fucking do horrible against Trump because her policies suck, and she's just like Hillary Clinton in the sense that she only advocates for policies that cater to the neo-feminist movement, and kind of caters to that identity politics, that identity politics kind of wave, that kind of third wave feminism movement. And it's just people that just don't really give a shit about actual policies, but they just want to push for specific candidates and then push for just beating Trump, and that's it. And then ultimately, none of our problems are going to be solved because it's just going to be the same. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same result somewhat, because you're going to end up with a candidate that probably agrees with Trump in many cases, especially when it comes to foreign policy and, not fixing the corrupt system and all that, all that stuff, typical stuff, regime change wars and whatnot. So let alone pushing Medicare for all and, decent healthcare policy. So yeah, Medicare. So I mean, Gillibrand is canceled, man. I don't even want to bother, taking her seriously. She's not going to be. I don't even know if she raised enough money to be able to, because you have to raise a certain amount of money to be able to get on the debate stage. I don't even know if she did that. If she didn't, well, I don't really give a. If she did, that's great. If she didn't, I'm not even going to notice that she's not there. Even if she is there, I'm not going to notice it. So, yeah. I mean, who gives a fuck, really? So yeah. Gillibrand, Julian Castro, Seth Moulton, Eric Swalwell, all these people, none of those people can be taken seriously because they are not actual serious candidates with actual serious policies, as you can see here with Gillibrand and her $600 voucher idea.